Marty Supreme review. I'm also gonna do some curls with the bar. Marty Supreme, okay? This was one of the most hyped films for me in a long time, and honestly, a lot of that is due to Mr. Timothy Chalamet. Before I even start talking about the movie, I gotta talk about like a little bit about Timmy Tim. At least in my opinion, and I don't think this is unpopular, Timothy Chalamet is probably one of the only new gen actors that actually has some sort of star power. I can't think of many young actors where you think, oh, I'm gonna go see that new insert actor's name movie. There's a few, but Timmy Tim stands among the top. And I think this was a great role for him because it kind of mirrors his career a bit because he's searching for greatness. That's exactly what Marty's doing in Marty Supreme. So what is Marty Supreme? You might have believed that Marty Supreme was a ping pong movie. And to be fair, it is in a sense. It is like a ping pong sandwich. You got ping pong at the start, ping pong at the end, but in the middle, that's the stuff you care about in a sandwich, isn't it? I mean, sometimes the bread's good, but it's what's in the middle. And what is in the middle is Marty Supreme, who's this man with an ambition that kind of overtakes his entire life and all his focus. Marty will do literally probably anything to achieve his goal. Even those he cares about or like supposed to care about, he'll tear them down with him if it means he's gonna get closer to his goal. And in a way, you gotta respect it, but at the same time, the way he's going about it isn't very respectable. So I don't know what I'm actually saying there. So the movie starts off with a fertilization scene. You might think, what? Symbolism I'll come back to later. Marty is America's best ping pong player, and his goal, he wants to be the face of ping pong. He wants to be on the Wheaties box. He wants to be the symbol of the sport. Some have called me the greatest cross-sport athlete of all time. Put me in any sport, I'm kind of good off the bat. But ping pong, I cannot play. Ask anyone, and they'll agree that I say this about myself. And from the very start of the movie, he's already pulling out guns on people to get his money he's owed, just so we can get to these ping pong tournaments. And one thing he doesn't do is really consider consequences. He kind of just does stuff. Like when he gets to the venue, he realizes he wasn't placed in a nice hotel, so guess what? He goes there, beyond his means, consequences come later, but Marty Supreme doesn't care. His name isn't actually Marty Supreme, but I'm just gonna keep saying that because it's ingrained into my soul, okay? And after this big British ping pong tournament, which comes second to the Japanese Endo, I really enjoyed the ping pong themes. I thought it was filmed really well. I thought, whoa, this is sick. Like ping pong. I can't play it, but it looks so cool to watch. Subscribe. But after this, the next big goal becomes the international tournament. And he also has Kevin O'Leary, who is a guy from Shark Tank. I know he's more than that, but that's how I knew him. Who I thought played a really good, he's basically just playing himself in the movie. And he did a good job. He kind of, in a way, embodies what Marty wants to be, like a success story. Same thing goes for his wife, who Marty's got the moves. She also encapsulates, I think, what he's going for. It's like the personification of the American dream. But then from here, Marty is in a pickle because a lot of the things he's done up to this point have started to catch up to him. He owes all this money. He needs all this money to get to the tournament. And he has this short time frame. And all these things are coming after him at once. And he keeps bringing in his mates to try and help him. But then he just drags them down with him. Like Tyler, the Creator's character, who I think is good, is a taxi driver. He ends up below the shit too. They get chased, his taxi gets beaten up. And he'll just use everyone that loves him, that cares about him, that he cares about, just to achieve his goal, okay? Achieve his goal. And Rachel is probably one of the characters that I think suffers the most. He clearly cares about her. Like there were times in the movie where she feigned as if she was getting abused, and then he went and dealt with the abuser. So he clearly does care because that did nothing to really achieve his goal. She will do anything for him. And he kind of just takes advantage of that fact. Same with everyone. I think his name was Zion, his mate who had the rich father benefactor type thing. To get the ping pong balls, because it's all in his mission. Everything he does is for his sole purpose. And I think everyone can relate to this in a sense, but Marty goes, I think, further than most people would. People die, okay, in his pursuit to achieve his dream. And he kind of seems very unfazed by it. He doesn't really care because it's all laser focused on his mission. He's not a great guy. Like you really can tell he's not a great guy because he's doing all these things to all these people he cares about that care about him. He's leading to these horrific things happening, but you can't help but still kind of want to root for him because I think in your heart, you kind of wish you had the strength to do some of the shit Marty's doing to achieve what you do. Like everyone has that driving force. He goes as far as humiliating himself in these scenes to achieve, he will do anything. As the viewer, you really want him to succeed. So much so that you can overlook some of these things because you think you are Marty Supreme. Like some of the things he was doing, I'm like, I kind of feel like I would do that. But then he takes it too far. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should be, I don't think I'm allowed to say that now. Some other things I want to talk about, like in the general, they did a really good job of the sound design. Some scenes For a second, I thought there was maybe people outside the theater just being too loud. But then I realized it was part of the design, and it kind of gave that vibe that this is like a real living world, which I like. It added to the environment, and it wasn't like obscuring voices of the actors. So I'm all for that. Like, and the general extras in the movie too, they seem like real people. I'm gonna talk about the ending a little bit now, so just warning. You know, not everything went exactly as planned. Like, he didn't get to the tournament, but he got to fight his Japanese rival in a real 1v1 in which he came out on top and finally like achieved his goal. Like, he is the best. At least in that moment, he is the best. Finally, it's like he's released of this burden that he's put on himself. Again, I feel like this is something everyone can kind of relate to. Like, you've got this one thing that you've got to achieve, and until you do that, everything else is kind of, you know, you've got added stress, everything feels harder. But as soon as you achieve that one thing, you're lightened, okay? From him doing this to then finally coming home, accepting responsibility of his kid, and then just breaking down crying, I was like, damn, it really is just a man who was on demon time to achieve his one goal. And now that it's done, he can finally see the things that matter, like that really matter. Rachel, his kid, the people that care for him, like it took many lives, many Marty Supreme atrocities to achieve that dream, but now that it's done, freedom. He can finally be at peace with the world around him, see what's right in front of him. Like, he's had Rachel, I feel like Rachel's been that real, she was kind of the only person that really believed in him, because everyone else, not mocked, but like, you can tell it's not real genuine belief in a lot of the stuff he says. He was basically the one that backed himself, but Rachel was there the whole time too. I know Timmy really wants an Oscar. I generally think he deserves it for this. This was an amazing performance. He was on screen, I feel like nearly the entire movie. Like 99% of the screen time he was on the screen, and he delivered one hell of a performance. Like I said, he's a guy who's doing all these horrible things to people who love him. Yet you still root for him. Like, how's he done that? How's he done that? He's a bit of a rat, but you love him. Marty Supreme. And back to that initial fertilization scene, I kind of felt like, you know, at the start of the movie, it's showing that the dream coming to motion. And then throughout the movie, it's kind of developed, like the baby conveniently is born as he achieves the dream. I mean, you can see what's happening there. And then that whole process of, I guess, the 9 months of labor. Labor versus labor, whoa. And then to finally have that come to fruition, the baby, completion of the dream, and now getting to, it's not necessarily like he even has a reward from it, but it's just, the reward is, I guess, that release. I love this movie. Generally, I love this movie. If I have to give a TLDR of Marty Supreme, phenomenal Timothée Chalamet performance. I hope he wins his award. I think he deserves it. The set, sound design, costumes, everything, fantastic. Really felt like 1950s. Because, you know, I was there, so, you know, I can, vouch for that. Not just the ping pong scenes, but all the scenes were filmed in such a way that really kept your attention on the screen. I could not look away. Symbolism in the film, fantastic. Marty as a character, phenomenal. I can't really recommend this movie enough. So with that said, Marty flippin' Supreme gets 10 out of 10. I didn't want to do back-to-back 10 out of 10s, but it's my channel, okay? It's my channel. I can do what I want. Can I say, why did this movie get delayed a month in Australia? I really wanted to see it. I had to wait an extra month. Why? Why did they do that to me? And genuinely, if you have any feedback for me, I'd appreciate it. Because I know these videos are a bit all over the place, but that's, I think, the Saxon Gym way. I'm really just talking about it because no one in my circle watches movies like I do. So I got to talk to people online. Okay. With that being said, stay sexy, everyone.